Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I swear this week, and like last week too, I've just not been insanely productive. Like waiting till the last minute to get things done, grocery shopping, all that kind of stuff, and like, well, not grocery shopping, but like my grocery list. I haven't been getting to like everything on my planner. And so, yeah, but I've got something that's supposed to be going on tomorrow, and I don't know if that's why too. Like, sometimes if I have certain stuff that's going on, you know, then I'm sort of just like lazy and procrastinate. Like, also too, like thinking about Easter going on this weekend, like I'm just like, I don't know, like overwhelmed a little bit maybe. And so that's why like I just sort of like, you know, just like, I don't know, don't do the things that I normally wind up doing. One of two things happens. Either I'm super lazy about it and then I'm just like, oh, like, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't know, get to the things that I have to do or whatever because I have anticipating so much of the stuff that's going on, or else I sort of like overcompensate a little bit and then like go above and beyond because I want to distract myself from like thinking about other stuff that I have going on or whatever. Or if I'm like, you know, I'll just cross that bridge when I get there, like again, like Easter, all that kind of stuff, you know, holidays. You know, I will like, again, like try and, you know, like try to like, sometimes doing just a little thing helps me get to the bigger thing, if that makes sense. Like again, you know, holiday stuff, which we're not even planning, you know, like we're not hosting Easter or anything like that. It's just like, okay, well, we have, again, there's a lot of stuff though too, like this weekend, on Saturday, like we're going out for Jack's birthday and we're celebrating Jack's birthday, and then on Sunday we're going over to my aunt's house for Easter, and then like because my mom has to work, so I told you guys like it's gonna be weird, like she has to come late and stuff like that. So I don't know, like again, not a lot of the stuff really, other than like the Easter stuff, it concerns me, like, you know, obviously I have to be there and everything, but like, but it's sort of like, again, those type of things that's like, I don't know, I don't need to prioritize, I don't need to make a part of like my to do. Some of those things that again aren't like for me to be concerned about, I tend to concern myself about, even though I think I do it involuntarily. Like, I'm totally not trying to be involved in like other people's business, but like sometimes again, like it's just those like things that like I need to have an idea of what's going on. I need to have things planned out, and sometimes when things are all over the place, like, and I'm not planned out very well, I think that's like, isn't that like type A personality or whatever? I think that's me. You know, like then I get very sort of like stressed out, and like I said, one of two things that winds up happening, where I like completely go above and beyond to try and like organize myself and be in control of the things that I can, or the second thing that winds up happening is that I just sort of almost shut down and I'm like, okay, I can barely get to things. Like, but I did clean the bathroom today. I did wind up doing some laundry too, because I told you guys how we had that laundry room fiasco yesterday with the washing machine overflowing, and because I didn't check to make sure there wasn't a sock in the drain in the slop tub, and so it ended up overfilling all over the floor. Then guys, you guys want a funny little story that happened tonight, right? So I am getting ready now for bed, right? I don't know why. My mom took both of the dogs into bed with her. And then all of a sudden she came out to go to the bathroom or something like that. Brava stayed in her room and Charlie came on out. And now I'm going to bed. It's like, you know, a little after midnight, but I'm actually going to bed early, which is good. That's the other thing too. One of the reasons though, guys, I feel like too, I've maybe been a little bit off right now is because my mom again has been doing like, if she was just like working, like I knew a consistent, like she had a consistent schedule, and again, like maybe things changed a little bit or whatever, like, oh, she's picking up an extra shift on like a Wednesday, which she's supposed to. She wasn't originally supposed to work on Wednesday, but she's going to. But like again, if she just had like her normal shift and stuff like that, but because of training it's been so weird. But again, like this Wednesday she's actually working extra when she wasn't supposed to, but which is really cool, really awesome. But you know, like that she's getting extra hours, I guess, anyway. You know, I guess it's technically sort of training still, and like this weekend though, she actually I think will be by herself. But like I said, you know, it's just like I feel like that has been throwing me off a little bit. Like the first week wasn't so bad, and I feel like the last 2 weeks have been sort of bad so far. So anyways, but like I think after this weekend, for the most part, it might be pretty normal. She might still go in for like a random like training day or two here or there, but I think for the most part she'll pretty much be like, you know, like normal schedule. which then again I can sort of get into. But right now I feel like it's just been a little all over the place too, just because like it hasn't been consistent. Like again, she'll, like today she actually worked like in the afternoons, like 4 to 9 I think, or something like that. And then tomorrow's supposed to be like I think 5 to 9 or something, or maybe earlier, I don't know. And then I don't know about what's going on she works again on Thursday, but then she doesn't work until like her normal like Saturday night and Sunday night shifts, which will be her normal shifts. So, but like today, like these 3 days I think are going to be training, but I think Wednesday, actually tomorrow, she'll sort of like be on her own. Anyways, though, back to the story that I'm going to tell you guys. She took, like I said, the dogs, and Charlie ends up coming back out. And so I'm like sitting in the living room for a little bit, and you know, I was just on my phone because I actually watched the last game of the play-in, or I guess it's not the last game of the play-in tournament, but there was one on earlier today and then the other one was on later, and it ended sort of late. So anyways, I stayed up to sort of finish watching that. I think it was over around like 11 something, or maybe about midnight. So like I said, it's a little after midnight right now, but now I'm going to bed. And again, I see the dog, and now I come in my room and I'm like, oh, he doesn't have his bark collar on, because I've been leaving his bark collar on him. He's actually been doing really good recently with not barking about every little thing that he hears. The worst is when he hears our car pull into the driveway, he hears the door open and close, he just starts going off and starts barking like crazy. And it's bad when it's our neighbors and it's not us, because we share a driveway. And so, you know, because I'm like, they probably think like he's just barking at them, but he's just, I think he's sort of excited that, you know, like somebody's coming home. But I also think too that he's nervous because sometimes we wind up bringing other people into our house that he doesn't know. And then I think that makes him very nervous. So, like I said, you know, he's actually been doing really well with that since I've been very diligent about keeping their bark collars on recently, because one of the big things is, again, because my mom's sleeping hours are all weird and her work hours and stuff like that, you know, like she's sleeping during the day when we're all, you know, and it's weird too because he knows like when my dad leaves for work and or when my mom leaves and comes back from taking Jack to school and stuff like that, like he doesn't bark. It seems like once I'm up and like up and awake and stuff like that, then he starts barking. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, so I've had his bark collar on like consistently. Like again, I'm really focusing on like training him with it right now. And so again, it's been working pretty well, but I come in and I see that he doesn't have it on, and it's fallen off of him a couple times because the one that I'm using isn't the one that he normally uses. The one that he normally uses is a like automatic sensor one. The one that I've had on him is a button one. It has a remote. And I like it because it has a beeper and it also has the little spray thing. You know, it's a citronella. That's what we use for bark collars. And so like I like it because it has the beeper too, which he doesn't like. He doesn't like the noise that it makes. So it also sort of stops him and deters him a little bit. But it's funny, when we're actually gone and not at the house, when he was wearing his automatic one, he doesn't bark at all. But again, I just like using the other one because sometimes the automatic one doesn't always work. Like I want to be like, if you bark once, you're getting sprayed. Sometimes it has to be an obsessive bark for like the automatic one to work, just so that again, it's not going off all the random like time, you know, like if he moves or he just makes like a little noise or something like that, it's going off. Like it doesn't. It takes a little bit more for it to go off, but I want to train him like, you don't bark once. Like it doesn't matter. Somebody pulls in the driveway, you don't bark. Like you're quiet. So like I said, I've been using that on him for the last couple days, and I'll take it off at night and, you know, put it back on him in the morning, you know, like during the day and all that kind of stuff. So all of a sudden I can't find his bark collar. Well, like I said, I'm back in my room and I'm looking around. I'm like, where is it? And it's fallen off of him a couple times. So we're supposed to get a really bad storm tomorrow, and I don't know if it's currently raining. It's really windy outside right now, though. It's actually supposed to be like, we're possibly supposed to get tornadoes tomorrow. It's actually supposed to be pretty bad. Like we have a chance of getting it. It's really supposed to be like much more like southern Illinois. It's like very high percentage chance, but it's supposed to be really, really warm tomorrow, like 70 degrees or something like that. And so I was like, oh no, like I don't want it to start raining like in the middle of the night tonight, and his collar's left outside in the rain because like I said, it's fallen off of him a couple times because like I said, the one that he's wearing is actually Bliss's. It's bigger, it fits on him, like I can adjust it, but sometimes because of the way it's actually clasped, sometimes it has fallen off of him. So like I said, I was was very nervous about this, and I didn't want to go and, you know, like I said, have it be all rained on outside, even though it's waterproof too, up to like, again, a certain degree, but I'm sure being soaked by like heavy downpour is probably, you know, could do something to it. So I don't want anything to happen to it. So I was like, oh, you know what, since again I have the remote, I'll just click the button and see if I can hear it if it's in the house, like it fell off him in the house or somebody took it off him. So I'm beeping it, and I was like, okay, I can hear it. So I'm like looking around. At first I thought it was in the living room, it wasn't in there. Then I went in my mom's office thinking like, oh, maybe Jack took it off him before he went outside, or maybe he came inside, or maybe Jack found it in the yard and brought it in and didn't put it back on him. So I like kept beeping it, and I'm like, I know it's not in there. So I go in my parents' room, and the both of them are like stumbling around. They're like, and I hear my dad go, maybe it's an alert of some kind, and they're both on their phones like trying to figure it out. And I was like, is Charlie's bark collar in here? And my parents think that there's like a tornado warning sound going off, or, you know, some type of Amber Alert or something like that, because there's this like, I wasn't obsessively beeping it, but I just beep it, and I was like, okay, like, you know, it's not in here, like I don't hear it anymore, you know, like I walked in the bathroom, I beeped it, I was like, okay, it's not this room. Walked in my mom's office, beeped it, it's not in this room, and then I was like, okay, it must be in their room. So I go in there, and that's when they're both like freaking out because they think that like, again, something's going on. So my bad, I woke them up. But that's when I asked my mom, I was like, did you take his bark collar off? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, you gotta tell me when you take it off, or again, don't leave it in here, or at least turn it off. Like, don't just take it off of him and leave it on. Because again, I need to try and find it now, and that's the only way that I could think of to try and find it, because again, I didn't like see it laying around on the floor anywhere. So, you know, and what, like I said, when I didn't hear it anywhere, I was like, okay, like I heard it muffled off somewhere. And so yeah, I find both of my parents, like they're both standing up. My mom's like sitting up in bed, my dad's like standing up looking at his phone, and he's like, maybe it's some kind of alert, because I think they're both trying to figure out where the beeping noise is coming from. So anyways, they found it. We found, they found the source, and I found what I was looking for. So now again, they're all good, and now I guess they can go back to bed. I feel bad for waking them up, but like I said, I didn't, you know, I guess I could have tried to look for it in the morning, but I again was like, well, if it's on, you know, like at least I can look for it, you know, and hopefully it didn't get left out in the yard. Like that was the bigger thing, and I didn't want to go trudging through the backyard right now in the middle of the night, you know, looking for his bark collar. So anyways, yeah, well, I guess we found it, so we're all good. I'm sure Charlie's not happy that we found it though, right, Charles? He is completely passed out. He does not care that I'm talking about him. It's funny too, I feel like he knows when I'm talking about him, and so like if he doesn't like what I'm talking about, he just ignores me. Like I feel like dogs have that weird like sixth sense, like they know, like you know, when you're talking about them. And so like I said, he's probably mad about whatever I'm saying about him. About, yep, he just did a really long sigh too right now. He's probably really mad that I'm talking about his bark collar and how, you know, unruly he is when he hears cars driving in the driveway. So anyways, guys, I'm going to take a shower and get to bed, though, because like I said, I'm trying to go to bed a little bit earlier today. But I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.